It's time for another episode of Askewed Reviews Food Reviews. And the food that I'm reviewing today is Sonic's Big Dill Meal. All of the menu items for this one were about a partnership between Sonic and Grillo's Pickles. I'll be honest, I'm not exactly certain if I've had Grillo's Pickles before trying this menu. So, for the big dill meal, there are three, well, technically four options, but I'll go further into that later on in the video. There is a sandwich, a side, and a drink. And all of them are pickle themed. For me personally, there's always two types of things that you can do to food to get me to go and definitely try it. And that would be enhancing something with pumpkin spice or pickle flavoring. Oh dear God, I just made the realization that if someone puts out a pumpkin spice pickle, I'm gonna have to try it. I will also say though that sometimes if something's sour or spicy, that will also intrigue me enough to give it a try. But anyway, let's get back to Sonic's pickle meal. So the first item I'm going to talk about is the sandwich, which is the Big Dill Sonic Smasher. With this one, you can get either one or multiple patties, so you can change that up. But let me tell you about what's inside this one. You have Grillo's pickles, cheese slices, crispy cucumbers, lettuce, smasher patty or patties, dilly ranch, and a potato bun. I actually really enjoyed this burger. Now, I will say though, in my own personal opinion, get a couple of patties. Just one patty, and it's not enough flavor to really taste the beef. But if you get a few, it does work really well. All of the flavors do seem to enhance this one. So I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. Next up, we have the side item of the pickle seasoned tots. This was a really good option, and this is also the one where I'm saying that there's more than one option, as you could also do the same thing to their fries. But if you're like me and you enjoy Sonic, you realize that their tater tots are the best side item possible, so that's the one I recommend trying this with. Now, the tots themselves are the regular tater tots made by Sonic, but with Grillo's pickles seasoning on them. This was definitely my favorite item on the menu. I already love tater tots, but this extra little seasoning was really tasty. And every once in a while, it would be like Doritos, where I would get one that was heavily seasoned, and that was just a nice little extra taste every once in a while. I would not have wanted all of them to be that heavily seasoned, but it was a good treat on a couple of them. I'm going to give these a 4 out of 5. I was very close to doing a 5 out of 5, but I felt that it didn't make it any better, just a different flavor. The last menu item was the drink, the Pickle Rita Slush. By the way, that radioactive green color it seems to have was actually the way it looked when I got it. The description of what goes into this one are Grillo's pickles, Pickle Rita flavor, and pickle juice flavor bubbles. If you've ever had boba, that's exactly what these bubbles were. Going into this one, I was definitely expecting a very pickle flavored drink, and that's exactly what I got. But I will say it was an interesting experience because as I started it, now mind you, I do enjoy drinking pickle juice, so this was really tasty to me at first. However, though, about halfway through, it just felt like too much pickle. Now, there was an interesting sweet taste that I got every once in a while, which wasn't bad, but it was a little hard to drink this all down. So, for that reason, I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5. So this is how I ranked each of the items, but as a full and complete meal, I'm going to give this one a 3 out of 5. If you do like pickles, I absolutely recommend checking this one out. It was a very tasty and interesting experience. If you've already tried this one before, please let me know what you thought about it in the comments. Now, don't get this confused with Popeye's pickle menu, which I would have done a review for, but on the 4 separate occasions that I tried to eat the items, there was one part of it, the pickle chips, that they never had in stock. And I refuse to do a review of a meal if I can't at least try each of the items. That's right, Popeyes, you could have had an Askewed review. But because you didn't have those pickle chips, I guess it's just never going to happen unless you decide to bring them back. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Askewed Reviews, Food Reviews, and please go and try the Sonic Big Dill meal while it's still available. And if there's any other foods, fast food, or grocery that you want me to try and do a review for, please mention them in the comments.